I'd like to introduce our next speaker, Professor Baumgardner at the School of Music. She has experience as a lawyer, a nonprofit executive and consultant, an orchestra board chair, and a career and life coach for her work at Yale, where she teaches entrepreneurship. As president of Astrid Baumgardner Coaching and Training, she coaches musicians, lawyers, and creative professionals in professional and personal development. Welcome.
Did that change the slide for me? Oh yeah, we're good, we're good. Perfect, thank you. Great, thank you. Good evening. It's a real honor to be here. And I want to thank Etienne and his team for creating this special event that brings together all the members of the Yale community and all its rich diversity. So my work here at Yale is to launch the brilliant, talented students at the Yale School of Music, to be our cultural leaders and inspire us with their music and their devotion to the arts. And I want to thank the students of the School of Music for selecting me to provide some inspiration to all of you. So let's get started. I'd like you to imagine yourselves 5 years from now. That's March of 2022. You're doing something that you really love. You're doing something that evokes your best talents. And you're doing something that's meaningful and is making the world a better place. So I'd like you to imagine that for a moment and begin to create a vision for yourself of what that would look like. Now, as I look around this room, I'm really excited to see the leaders of tomorrow, all of you. You are poised to use your talents to make our world a better place. And we need you more than ever in this interesting, troubled, and complicated time in which we live, where the rules and conventions that we have so long taken for granted are really up for grabs. We need your leadership, which I define as the art of getting great things done through other people. How? Well, it starts with you. And in order to inspire and lead other people, you have to first lead and inspire yourself. So I'd like to share with you the 3 keys to inspired leadership: flow, passion, and purpose. And I'd like to begin with a 1-minute energy booster that you can use anytime you want to tap into your best self. So I'm just going to ask you all to please sit back and relax and take a nice deep breath and close your eyes. And I'd like you to go back to a time when you were doing something that you really loved, where you were performing flawlessly and feeling really in the flow. Now, this might be an experience here at Yale or another professional highlight. Maybe it was a leadership experience or a relationship encounter or any other time when you felt at your very best and tapped into your best self. So zero in on this experience and remember what you were like. You were focused and clear. You feel challenged, but you're up to that challenge. And you're getting the feedback that tells you how well you're doing. You're so immersed in what you're doing that time is going by and you don't even notice it. And you're doing this just because you love it. No one is making you do it. This is you at the top of your game. So what words described you in this elevated state? Pick 1 or 2 words, and then please open your eyes. How do you feel? Pretty wonderful, I imagine. Because chances are you just tapped into the experience known as flow, your level of optimal performance. Now, flow is the brainchild of the psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. That's why I have this slide, because I couldn't spell it if you asked me to. So Csikszentmihalyi's project was to study the roots of what makes us happy. And he was particularly fascinated with people who devoted their lives to doing something meaningful and worthwhile. And Csikszentmihalyi researched the conditions that led people to perform at their optimal best and came up with the concept of flow that you've all just experienced. So here are some of the things that he found. Flow can be experienced by anyone under many different circumstances. And I think we can see that because so many of us from so many different disciplines sitting here in this room have probably tapped into that experience of flow. Flow sums up your best talents. So no wonder people at flow perform flawlessly and passionately. And when people maximize their flow, they're more productive. They're more motivated. They feel more fulfilled and confident, and they're ultimately much happier. So let me help you to maximize your flow. And please call up those words that describe what you're like when you're at your best and you're at flow. The musicians and the arts leaders with whom I work will use words like having an outer body experience, inspiring, connected, generous, energized, effortless, light. So pick your words and come up with 3 or 4 or 5 of those words, and then put them in a sentence that starts with the words I am, to create a reminder of what you are like at your best self. Now, my music students tell me that when they call up these flow words, they're inspired to be at their very best, whether they're performing or composing or teaching or auditioning or competing or even pitching their ventures. So I invite you all to do the same. Now, this is a really thrilling evening, I think, for all of us, because we hear so much passion from my colleagues who have shared their best research with us. And it's really exciting, I think, and inspiring to hear them. And I hear and I sense that same quality in my music students, who tell me that they're driven by their passion to spend endless hours in the practice room and in the rehearsal room so that they can share their art at the very highest level. And I'm sure you can all relate, whether you're in the operating room, the courtroom, or the seminar room. So how do we find that passion? Well, for some of you, that's really easy. It's the subject that you're studying and pursuing here at Yale. But maybe there are some other ways that others of you will resonate with passion. For starters, passion might come from a sense of mission, your feeling of how you want to make the world a better place. Now, many creative artists tell me that they feel a sense of their passion from mission, the mission to secure the important place of the arts in our culture. Now, perhaps you have a passion for problem solving or for using a particular process, whether that's scientific, artistic, creative, or even intuitive. And I'm sure that many of you, no matter what your field of expertise, have a passion for people and how you want to affect them. So I encourage you to take a broad look at passion and then find your own. And that leads me to the third key to inspired leadership, your purpose. Your purpose in this world is the intersection of your talents, your passions, and your way of attending to the needs of others, to engage in fulfilling work without regard to how much money you make or the bells and whistles of a fancy career, because you would like to create a more perfect world. And knowing your purpose can serve as your roadmap to help you navigate your future. So let me help you, and we're going to conclude by helping you to form a life purpose statement. And it starts by answering the following question: what does the perfect world look like to you? Now, for some of you, that might be world peace. It might be freedom from hunger, or poverty, or disease, or suffering. Maybe it's a healthy and clean environment, or a flourishing artistic and intellectual community. Or maybe it's equality and justice and freedom and an education for all. So pick the part of the world that you're committed to improving. Next, think about the people whom you want to help. Who are you serving? Maybe it's patients or clients or constituents or students or audiences. And finally, what is your role in helping the people in your slice of the world that you're committed to improving? Now, add your talents and your passions, and that's your life purpose. So allow me to share with you my life purpose statement. My purpose is to use my creative intellect and my positivity to inspire and empower brilliant, talented young leaders like all of you, especially in the service of the arts, to find and live your best authentic self, so that you can, because if you can live your creativity and your talents and ensure a flourishing artistic and creative environment, that's my way of making the world a better place. So I hope that with these 3 ideas of flow, passion, and purpose, you now feel clearer about and more empowered to work towards your 5-year vision of yourself as an inspired leader in your field. You are the future, And you owe it to yourselves, to Yale, and the people you're committed to serve, to put your talents and passions to work in order to create a better world for us all. Thank you very much.